Okay, so it is the racing commencing at 12:35. We're at Turffontein, where we're on the inside track for our 8-race fair, and I guess that the main attraction of the afternoon will be a certain main defender who will be having one of those prep runs in one of our latter races on the afternoon. Interesting to hear what the guys will make up main defender and that reappearance at the races. Right, it is of course a chance to get in touch with us. That is via Twitter. There is our Twitter handle address, and of course we have the phone number, the number rather, to our WhatsApp. Do get in touch with us. And a reminder, 2nd of March, we'll likely see main defender take up its position in one of our future supporting features. That is Classic Day, 2nd March, Turffontein Racecourse. Right, let's get straight down to business. We have a Work Riders event that opens the meeting, and we'll start straight with Mr. Darren Burrows. A very good morning to you, sir. Bossy Boots, obvious scratching after that 1-3 for the stable. Bossy Boots being the winner, and the stable companion running third. Unlucky, it must be said, about the stable companion. Name escapes me. They were separated by jumping an area. But with this Work Riders event, where would you be suggesting we go for the likely bipod entrance for leg one?
Well, I got information on number 6, Eve's Apple, the first timer. I spoke to the owner, Mr. Botma, and he told me it's a massive runner. So he said I can let the public know that it's in with a big shot. Others to consider: Out the Mist. I think the drop-in trip, the 1,000 meters is her best trip, and she'll be competitive. Jumping Analia, that was a good improvement last time out behind Bossy Boots, and together again can run into minor money. So 6, 2, and 3 to fight it out, followed by number 4.
6, 2, 3, followed by the 4 now, Mr. Marie. As far as the betting that we have right now, Jumping Analia, for obvious reasons, is your favorite at 17-10. At the 2 Out the Mist, 2-1. The 6, the first timer in the colors of the now scratch number 1 of Bossy Boots, who won recently, is at 5-1, and we've had the confidence come through from Darren, courtesy of Mr. Botma, that the horse is a big runner. So 5-1 right now is certainly a bargain.
Yes, and obviously Fabian will have a good line because he trains Bossy Boots, and there's a lot of Bossy Boots form over here. So if he's fairly confident of a positive run, I can see her making a winning debut. Now numbers 2 and 3, there's obviously very little separating them on form. Jumping Nanalia did have excuses at the Vaal up the straight. Last time out, she was unlucky in that she started hanging up the lane, but she does have Penicillin in the irons, and he won on Guardia Regine for Miss Claassen. And then, the veteran work rider Sam Messia, he said once in an interview, he said, when Mr. Gray gets hold of him, it's business. So 2, 3, and 5 will 2, 3, and 6 will suffice.
2, 3, and 6 has confirmed at the bipod numbers. It is Mr. Marie with a couple of bankers there that will be raced to the favorite. That is Kissing Machine, looking for that maiden win at the third time of asking for an inform Waishangwang stable. And then in leg number 4, the 5 is the banker there. That is the race number 4. We will discuss the PA up next, but that PA outlay 72 Rand. Well, it is a post-Valentine's meeting. It will be on the 15th. That follows that St. Valentine's Day meeting on the 14th in KZN. But appropriately named as the odds-on favorite for those who love their Valentines and all that goes with it. It is Kissing Machine. Having a third outing, it is at 11-20, the current price about Kissing Machine. 2, Play with Fire is at 4-1 out from 15-4. It is 9-2 and better. Bar those quoted runners. Scratched as a 1 Donna Mo. Yet another recent maiden winner in one of our recent meetings. That was on the 10th of February. Just going back to the past weekend. Starting off with you, Mr. Burrows. Do you look beyond the number 9, a Kissing Machine, as far as the race is concerned?
Not at all. This is a proper 6-10 shot. This is a start of your doubles, your multiples, even a single bet. If you can get 8-10, 9-10 race time, I think she's worth a decent bet because her 2 runs to date have been good, and they do rate her. I know the one owner, Trevelyan Pele, and he said she's could be one of their not classic fillies, but feature race quality. So that's what they think of her. And just if building on that effort or even a repeat of that last performance, she'll beat this field.
So confidence, it is open and shut. Case number 9, a kissing machine. And of course, talking about Trevelyan Pillay, he has got some very useful sorts. A bit unlucky with the destination. It wasn't settled at the start. He's part of the ownership. And we expect in the second leg of the Triple Crown and Triple Tiara, but Triple Crown, Mondial to be more of a force. They did say after the Guineas, you can start to expect the Mondial to be a presence.
Yeah, he's certainly put his money down as an owner, and he deserves all the victory that comes that comes his way. Yeah, Cecil, this is a steering job for Kelvin. On debut, that was a cracking run behind Sukhumvit. We saw Donna Mo win from there. Last time out, the filly you beat her is actually highly regarded. And she hit the front a long way from home.
Yes. That's the Crawford horse.
Yes.
Yes. Was due to run the weekend. Was scratched, huh?
Not
recently,
was
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And then she came back at her. So she showed us last time out that she is capable of racing handier and up on the pace. Yeah, steering job. I can't have Higgledy-Piggledy's form line. And Play With Fire was flattered by the horrible pace last time out. So, yeah, as far as you can throw a stone, Cecil.
Okay, so that, of course, you would have gathered is one of the bankers in the PA suggested by Mr. Marie. It has 3 bankers, but what will be of great interest as we look at the selection panel, it's 13:15 the off time to that first leg. It's banker the 9, as far as you can throw a stone, quote unquote. Race 4, number 5, and that would be Kadizora, who disappointed in that race that Mr. Marie says the Play With Fire was flattered. We're not going to banker in the penultimate leg where we have main defender, but we go to race 8 and Gavin reunited with Lincoln Navigator, whose next winning turn is around the corner. That is in race number 8. 48 Rand, the outlay, and I'm sure after Wednesday's meeting, you can actually splash out a bit of money, because I do believe that the tipsters would have done a great job there. Okay, so we're on to race number 3 now. Just having a look at early betting, as no place like a home. That is the one at 28-10, co-favorite with the 2, and that is Rosore Finale. And then it's the 3 Officer in Command at 3-1, 6-1, and bet above those. Now, as far as Rosore Finale is concerned, a little bit of a buzz when the horse first made its debut, and amongst the ownership is a certain Sean Singleton. It was one of Waishong's early runners out when he did get that the license up and running. Let's start with you, Mr. Marie, before we go to Mr. Burrows for race number 3. 28-10 co-favorites, 1 and 2, a fair reflection of the race?
I don't know what No Place Like Home is doing so short in the market. Expect him to drift. What does Rosore Finale and Sean Singleton have in common? What do they have in common?
Rosore Finale and Sean Singleton.
Yeah.
Ideal world.
They're both massive, Cecil.
I hope he is watching this.
Have you seen Rosore Finale?
I actually saw it from the studio, but Sean was on course that first time out, yes.
He's a monster. I think Waishong was very disappointed last time out, not only in his performance, but by the ride. I think he was expecting much more from the horse. I think this horse certainly could have benefited from the gelding. My only reservation is he's a big son of Ideal World. I don't know how fit he is returning from that short break since being gelded. And the inside track, is it really going to be his game? But this horse, I think they regard him so highly that he's expected to go through the divisions. If you like Officer in Command, who's very consistent, you have to have respect for Master TikTok, who I think is better than his last start. So I think in time to come, Rosore Finale is going to be much better than what he meets over here. But there are some question marks, which is the reason why I've gone 2, 3, and 5.
Okay, so that is the 2, 3, and a 5 for Mr. Marie in race number 3, Rosore Finale. Beaten that 13 lengths by Storm Brasco. Not to say that even if it was a better ride, as alluded to by Mr. Marie, it would have got too close to Storm Brasco, whom we expect to do better in the Classic. But for you, Mr. Burrows, Rosore Finale, are you in agreement as far as the likely outcome of race number 3? 28-10 co-favorites, 1 and 2 so far.
Well, No Place Like Home. I thought his last run was his best to date, because I thought that was quite a strong maiden behind Ryan's Boulevard. And I thought that was a very good effort. So I think he'll be right there at the finish. Rasul Finale, his last run, he had excuses. He was returning after a long break. He now returns after another break. I don't know if he's going to need the run or not, but I've included him. Officer in command, consistent form, but limited. Master TikTok, I think the drop in trips ideal for him, and he'll be right there. I think the 2000 was too far last time out. I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in my bets. But yeah, I thought it was quite a tricky race.
Yes, just touching on the trainer of the one and no place like home today, or at least the 14th of Feb was the trainer's birthday. So many happy returns to Mike de Kock, and may it be a good year that lies ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 are stated by the man. And then we go to race number 4, where the 5 is the bank, and that is Cadizora, and no more bankers for Mr. Burrows. So that is the story of race number 3, the first leg of the pick 6. Race 4 will be the first leg of the first jackpot on an 8-race program at Turffontein, where we're racing on the inside track. We should be off at 14.25 on the maiden plate over the 2,600-meter stretch. There's the two Judgment Day, who nearly did upset all the odds on Saturday afternoon. That would have been one of the big upsets on the day. It was up against a strongly fancied favourite, that is a Marauding Horde, who eventually got up. But as current betting goes, number 5, Cadizora, is at 17-10 in the currents for the breeders, Vilgaboss Drifter and turffontein the breeders, Vilgaboss Drifter being the owners. Agamemnon having a first runner for the new stable is at 7-2 now, with Tony Peter X KZN based, and then the 1 Taxhaven is at 15-4 along with the 3 Karoo Gold. Right, let us start with Mr. Burrows once again, if you don't mind. So Cadizora, word was always the further the better, and now we get the 2,600 meters. Got going late last time out, already didn't get into that stride as was expected, but prior to that, penultimate run got going late. So it should be a penalty kick as far as 1 or 2 are concerned.
Definitely. You know, this filly's crying out for this trip. 2,600 meters up to 3,200 meters, she'll stay all day. And I hope that's the case, because she hasn't proven that yet. But her dam Gorangosa will stay all day. And I think she's following in her footsteps. So her penultimate start, when they went fast, she was staying on very strongly. Last time out, 1 paced. They just outsprinted her. I think she's just looking for that 800 meters further that she goes. And this isn't a strong field. You know, Judgment Day, Karoo Gold, limited. I expect her to win. So I have chosen to bank this filly in the pick 6.
Okay, just to confirm that Judgment Day is indeed one of the scratchings on the afternoon that has come through so far. That is number 2, leaving a field of 7. Mr. Marie, I think we leave the last word to you. Is this another one of those very confident selections for you?
Cecil, if there's one reservation, it's the sire Karari. And I don't think he's known to throw stayers. Mm-hmm. But we saw with Bonete, who's by Ilabella.
Yeah. Tried the 2,400 last time.
She tried the 2,400 last time. She was actually staying on in the latter stages. And yeah, Cadizora's dam, Gorangosa, like Darren touched on, she went 2 miles. So I think this filly is looking for the extra. She was her own undoing last time out. She went far too slow. And I think what's going to be the telling factor over here is the 3.5 kg 6 allowance herself and Crystal Maiden get from what appeared to be moderate opposition. So don't be surprised to see Marco van Rensburg take it up a long way out and ask her to stretch, because she does have that weight advantage, and I think she's looking for the extra. So I'm going 5 from 6, but I think Cadizora will get it right in her 5th time of asking.
All right, let us just round off our confident selection for race number 4, and it is Cadizora. And I dare say that it is still good value given the confidence that is emanating from our 2 tipsters. That is Mr. Darren Burrows and Del Marie, 17-10. Off time to race 4. A positive start to that first jackpot. You could bank a Cadizora, because the guys don't want to hear. You've lost a 2 Judgment Day to confirm is a scratching. 5-2 is the number 2, Viva Brazil, in those the colours of Mr. David Shaw, who bred this 3-year-old up-and-coming stayer. It is it's a by oratory out of a Jetmaster made Little Jet. Last time out was just touched off by what was a very game street art, who was giving chunks of weight away in the colours of the Glistian, nominally Mr. Demata. And that was one of those Pierce Schreiner masterful rides. Now, Viva Brazil has a chance to get back on the winning trail. Craig Zaki gets the ride once again, as he has done up until the last ride when he was unavailable, and it was Kabelo Matsinyane. Take us through race number 5, 5-2, and it is quite close. The 3-player back to something, well, of what people have expected from Candice's charge, just touched off by a twin turbo in what to me so far in the last few months was one of the great rides from Gavin Arena.
Yes, they were all the connections that praised for Gavin's ride. I said, I don't know, there's a ride of the month competition going around. Maybe he could be a nominee.
Yeah.
But I think that's January's already sailed. Yeah, player Cecil, since this horse has been gelded, his handicap form is outstanding. So I respect his chances. He's won on the course. He's loves the distance. It's going to be a run over here. Now, Viva Brazil, if you look at him, his form at face value, you'd say, oh, that was really a cracking run behind Street Art, because Street Art is quite a nice sort in the making. But in that same race was a horse called Arlington Action, who's, I think, rated 81, and he finished right alongside him in third place. So there are doubts over that form line, but one thing is for certain, Viva Brazil is lightly raced and he's improving. So he's a nice sort in the making. I don't know if he can give his stable companion, Master Christmas, 5 kilograms though. I thought his last win was eye-catching. He quickened up beautifully. I mean, he was climbing all over them with 400 to go. And when he got that gap, he extended from his field. So I like his chances. The horse who could be very hard to peg back if he goes to the front is number 1, Global Impact. Because when he's allowed to stride, he's most effective. And yeah, he's got a 4 kg claim on his back. My concern with him is we've seen this yard scratch a few horses recently. So I don't, obviously he's going to line up and his well-being's 100%, otherwise he wouldn't be here. But there is some doubt in my mind. So I like the look of Master Christmas, and I've backed him up with numbers 1, 2, and 3.
10 from 1, 2, and 3. Please take note of a jockey change, number 8, Pewter Sky. Deputizing for the medically indisposed Mr. Wes Mawing will be Mr. Calvin Abib. That is race number 5, the 8, Pewter Sky. Now, let's get to Darren Burrows. I do believe that Darren, you will have a jackpot for us. And what is interesting is that there are no bankers, which is actually going to be a cause of great fascination for us as we look down the road. Pray tell, nothing that you're very confident or you're trying to beat the odds as far as your jackpot is concerned?
Well, the obvious banker for all is going to be in the 7th race, Main Defender. But yes. I think, I will get to that race shortly and explain why we haven't banked it. But in this particular race, now, Viva Brazil, this horse takes a long time to unwind. Last time out, it looked like he was going backwards. And then he quickened up very late on to run on for second. I think he could be even looking for further, but he will be competitive. Now, player is consistent. I've ignored this horse in his last 5 starts, and he's won, I think, 3 of them. But, yeah, this time around, I'm not going to ignore him because his last run was a cracker, and he'll be right there at the finish. Global Impact interests me with a 4-kilo claimer. His comeback run was a cracker behind You Can't Hurry Love over the 1800. He'll be right there. So I thought the race was between numbers 1, 2, and 3, the top weights in the race.
Okay, let us confirm that jackpot courtesy of Darren Burrows. Starting with race number 5, we step up to a merit weight at 84, which will be over the 1800 meters. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 12 as confirmed by Darren. And then in that penultimate leg, race number 7, which he has said we will talk about shortly, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. 560 rand, that's the outlay to that second jackpot. All right, for race number 6, the first leg of the last pick 3, we've got co-favorites at 3-1. They are the 1 to winner and number 3, Alabama Anna. the latter from the Hoodalaka stable, going back up in trip after a good run over the 1200 in a stronger race. Affilies and 89 has been shortened in from 33 to 10 into 3 to 1, and will have the services of Craig Zaki once again. Now, as far as the race number 6 is concerned, Affilies and Mare 76 has alluded to, this is a drop in class of Alabama Anna, and I think 1450 shouldn't be a problem with 3 runs back. That was a very good run in beating Perilla, whom it meets once again in race number 6.
Yes, Cecil, she's been backed up fairly soon after her comeback efforts. She was given a chance on that occasion, and she finished that race off well. So I could see her featuring up here. Joanna, I think Mr. Pettigrew's found a lovely race for her because not only does she come in well drawn over here, she also gets Trent Mayhew taking 4 kilograms off her back. My only concern is this filly, I don't think really wants to be bustled in the early stages. I think she likes to come out and find herself. And last time out, Calvin rode an extremely confident race on her. Whether she can hold her position from stallgate number 2, that's my only reservation. I don't want to see her too far back turning for home, but it looks like she's going in the right direction. I mean, she's still 3 and she's improving. So lots in her favor. I backed up with number 5, Just Be Nice. Now, he has one of the most unlucky fillies in training currently. Every single start, she's basically had excuses, and she's still done well and ran consistently well. Last time out, she was 3 wide turning for home, or not turning for home, around the bend up the Turffontein hill. Prior to that, like I say, very consistent. On her day, she's capable. I just don't know her well-being, as she has been rested since her last start.
Okay, so it is 1 and a 5 to fight out the finish in an ideal world for Mr. Daryl Murray. Now, Mr. Burrows, the 3-year-old we alluded to was the one Duenna. Seems strong on the number 1 Duenna is Mr. Murray. Just one word from you before we get to your selection. Number 10, Woodland Glade, debuted on the 4th of May, and that is then beaten by That's My Baby. But you got the impression, because Mike was on course that day, that he expected the Woodland Glade to go and win a few. But tumbles in that merit rating from 82, just 5 runs back, or 3 runs back, to a 72 this afternoon. Do you see a future for Woodland Glade?
Well, Cecil, I liked her in her last 2 starts. And what happened, I don't think the tactics were right, because they went to the front on her, and she just stayed one paced, and they quickened past her, and she faded tamely. I'm hoping that they can tuck her in off the pace for a change and let her run on like when she won that day, because she's definitely got ability. I've seen it in the past, even in Juvenile Plate Company as a 2-year-old. So I've included her in the pick 6. I've put 1, 3, 6, and 10. Now you got Lilma's Swagger. This filly's decent, and last time out he moved up to them with a double handful, and the 1700 caught her out. So the 1450, Gavin Lorena, she'll be there. Alabama Anna should be right there on a good recent form. But I am leaning towards Duenna. The 4-kilo claim, Trent Mayhew. I told someone yesterday, I said this is probably the next Lyle Hewitson, because I rate this apprentice very highly. I think he's top class. And he's jumping from a good draw. I'm hoping that she's ridden patiently. And last time out, I mean, Calvin Habib hadn't moved at the 300, and I was still thinking, wow, he's left it too late. But he was cool, calm, and collected. He got up to win. And I think off her rating and the 4-kilo claim, Duenna should take some beating.
Let us confirm that confidence from both our tipsters. Daryl does like Duenna, and Darren has actually gone with Duenna as a pretty confident win bet, and that is your current 3-1 co-favorite with the 3 Alabama Anna. That is race 6, the last chance to get involved in a pick 3 affiliates of Mare 76, and that'll be over the 1450 off at 25 to 4 on the inside track of Turffontein. Needless to say, one of the big attractions in South African racing period is Main Defender, who is again at cramped odds in race number 7 at Pinnacle Stakes over the 1200 meters at 13 to 20. And then next best is Malek at the 3 at 10 to 1, 12 to 1 and better. By those now, earlier on, Darren did say that he was going to give us an overview of race number 7. Main defender, 7 runs, 6 wins, and 1 second. Certain impressive stats, Darren.
He's top class, and I think he'll just about win. But I have chosen to cover him. Reason why, he's drawn out at 11, and he's not going to have the easiest of passages from there unless he just has that gate speed and can overcome the draw. The drop-in trip shouldn't be a concern, but I've just chosen to cover him. Reason why, because he's also not best weighted in this type of race. He's not even near best weighted. So, yes, he could trot up. But for pick sixes, I've included Melek. I've included Captain Peg. I've included Gobsmacked. I think we're going to see a much improved run with 52.5 kilos. I've included this horse Mujbar from Great Britain. He's a newcomer to South Africa. They're obviously racing him because they believe they could get some black type before retiring to stud. Power Broker, done absolutely nothing wrong with the Peter stable, and Swing Upon a Star can be competitive too.
So quite a competitive race if you are looking at beating the 2 main defender. And a word from you, Mr. Marie, as we round off our preview to race number 7, main defender, as I said, impressive stats. And Mujbar, what is the name of the horse, Mujbar, and the colours of Mr. Ackerman in partnership with breeder, Advocate Nigel Riley?
Yeah, I'd be shocked to see that one. But who knows? Yeah, main defender, Cecil. I mean, it needs no introduction. Obviously, he's earned his rating over slightly further, and he doesn't come into this race best weighted. I think he's only 6th or 7th best in over here. But, I mean, he's got the class. He's a serious racehorse. We all love to see good horses win. So I'm hoping he gets into a prominent position from a wideish draw, and that he's given every chance to notch up another victory. I just think it isn't the easiest contest for him. Coming back in trip, there's a lot of speed in the race. He's got the wide draw to contend with, so there are a few question marks, and coupled with the fact that it is a prep run. So he's not going to be seriously punished to get the better of this field. He's got bigger fish to fry. Captain Peg, now this filly over this course, or on this course, is outstanding. And she's only got 52.5 to shoulder. She'll be flashing up late. If the speed's really on, don't be surprised to see her fight at the finish with main defender.
All right, so that is the story of our sages as far as race number 7. Main defender can make it 6-7 wins from 8 outings, but just do be a little bit more introspective, or in fact, show a bit of more spacability. And the selections are coming up from Darren. He's got a swinger for us. That is a 2 and a 5. That is, of course, Daryl Marie. And that will be for race 7 off at 4:10, our penultimate on Thursday on the inside track.